So, Bruce update. Blooming heck, look at that. I thought they were just going to shove a needle in one or two places, a deep, big needle, and draw out. But no, they've properly cut into him. So the vet said they did take quite a lot of fluid. There was no obvious sort of, ball of a cyst, lump, whatever growth under there that she could see. But it's still a bit of a mystery as to why it's so big and fluidy. So samples have been sent off to a lab. I have to wait 10 days. Excuse me. He had x-ray on his hip and legs, and he does have mild or slight hip dysplasia in the right side, but it's absolutely nothing to do with that. So it probably explains his bit of a weird gait, his bunny hopping and skipping about sometimes. Maybe on that first video about his weird walking when he collapses with his leg, I watched that in slow motion, and it's his right leg that just gives, and then he nearly collapses on his left leg as he's taking the weight. So maybe that's hip dysplasia just making him all a bit cock like that. So it's not a big concern, the hip dysplasia. Once he's recovered from all this business, I'll still be able to let him run a little bit, chase the ball a little bit, but we'll slow him down. So time will tell regarding the lumpy muscle. There's a possibility it could be just a muscle tear. A mild one, but still quite swollen and obviously not causing much pain. That's what we're hoping for. So wait for the lab results. We had a stressful evening yesterday evening. Hopefully it'll be a bit better. He couldn't settle, obviously. He was up on the bed, back onto the sofa, up on the bed. He would just stand by the bed for ages, sometimes just looking up, and I'd be going, go on then, jump up. And he'd take ages to jump up. And he'd often try and lie down on the other side, on this bad side, and then he'd jump up and he'd be turning round, but then he'd lay down again on the wrong side. But then late night he settled. We had to go out in the middle of the night for a pee, and then he just jumped straight back on the bed and thankfully got back on his left side. He does seem happier this morning. He's just chilled now after his brekkie. Ooh, he's having a little sleep, aren't you? So obviously at the moment it's very short walks, like the vet's notes that I've got 10 minutes short lead walk, just a few times a day. The vet is going to phone me in 3 days or 2 days now on Monday to talk and ask how he is, and then she'll give me her email address and I'll send pictures of that wound so she can see that it's doing well. And then he goes back in 10 days for the results. The stitches are dissolvable, but she said they might be still in, and if they're still in when we see her again, she'll just remove the last bits. It's big, that, like. But yeah, he did seem sprightly this morning as such. He was keen, jumped off the bed, went outside for a pee. He's had his breakfast. So there you go, Bruce update so far. Slight hip dysplasia, lump still a mystery.